Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Heretic Theater. I'm Grant.
And I want to know how he got those scars.
And we are continuing with the Dark Knight trilogy today with The Dark Knight, which is widely regarded as the best in the trilogy, as well as a masterpiece in superhero filmmaking. And I would have to agree with that. I think this is my favorite comic book movie of all time. We'll discuss it more, but just everything about it is fantastic. Like, the acting is insane. What about you, Zach?
Yeah, I don't think much of it. Only the best Batman movie of all time. That's pretty much it.
Would you say it's your... Okay, well, first question. Do you think it's the best comic book movie of all time? Not like your favorite, just like the most well-made.
Top 5, to be sure.
Okay. Is it your favorite one, then?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I haven't thought that far ahead.
Alright.
Top 5 easily.
Maybe we'll have an answer by the end of it after we rewatch. So, are you ready to start it up?
Let's start the movie.
Alright. And you can watch along with us. I'm going to hit play in 3, 2, 1, play. And it opens up with the same logo and music as in the last one.
Hans Zimmer bringing the score. Beautiful as always.
Mm-hmm.
What other movies has Hans Zimmer worked on?
He did He's done a lot of Nolan movies.
I figured that much.
Did Man of Steel. He did The Lion King. Lots of Nolan movies.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. So talk about a hell of an opening scene.
Oh yeah, this is one of the examples I always use as like just one of the best opening scenes in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is how to do an opening.
Also, a good introduction of the main villain of this movie, Superman. I'm just kidding.
It's a perfect way to introduce a villain.
You saw this Joker, man.
This really feels like they let Nolan loose with his style. Like, this really feels like Nolan's 100% complete vision. Because in Batman Begins, it still felt a bit reminiscent of Tim Burton's style, in a way.
Yeah, there's still a little bit of that. A little bit of comic book stuff.
In Batman Begins, yeah. But this one, it's completely... It feels like a crime drama. It doesn't even feel like a comic book movie.
Mm-hmm.
It transcends its own genre.
No, this entire sequence I really liked a lot.
And this is set up for what it is later. It's not a normal bank. It's a bank for the mob. And that one line is already setting that up for later. It's like it didn't dial out to 911 and was trying to reach a private number.
Yeah, like, that's weird. It's like, why doesn't it go to 911?
Yeah. And that's something that I noticed in these first couple bits. There's lots of things that are set up for what happens later.
Yeah.
And you don't realize it at first. And it's a little thing. Like, that one line isn't something people would think much of,
Right. I didn't notice it until you just mentioned it. That line went completely over my head every time I watched this film.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the only thing I think of during this opening sequence is when all the minions backstab each other. And just by that shows just how great of a manipulator the Joker is in this movie.
Yeah. And it just shows how much he doesn't care.
Yeah. He's crazy.
Yeah. Something similar.
That's a lot of moolah. I got the bus driver. Bus driver.
What bus driver?
Yeah, no, like the Joker's schemes in this movie almost comes off like an evil Jack Sparrow, Like, it seems he's making things up on the fly, but in reality, he's planning this since the very beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, and everyone has said that's a plot hole. When he's saying that to Harvey, where he's like, do I really look like a guy with a plan? That's not actually who he is. He's saying it to manipulate him.
Right, because that's what the Joker is in this movie. He's a master
manipulator. Yeah, that's not a plot hole. Makes you stranger. Yeah.
And then it turns out it's just a smoke grenade.
Is legendary.
Yeah. See, this scene here for me is this movie's equivalent of the Joker's gag pistol. You think it's a bomb, but it's just a smoke grenade.
Yeah, because that's his thing. He just fucks with people.
Yeah. He doesn't know if it's going to kill you or not.
Yeah. Yeah, and that whole thing where they were like, why don't they chase after them? Well, for one thing, we don't know if they did or not. It just cuts away.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, when they were driving, they didn't see it. Like, I literally just watched for the cars. There is no way they would have been able to see that from that far away.
But here in this scene, I like how they show the effect of Batman on Gotham.
Yep.
Just of how just showing the bat signal causes criminals to think twice.
Mm-hmm.
Which was his goal.
Yep. His goal from the beginning. And that line's set up for later too, where she talked about her mom being checked back into the hospital. That was set up for later when it turns out she was the one who picked up Rachel, and that's why Harvey went after her, because the mob got to her. Again, they throw in these little things as set up for later so that it's not just some contrived thing that just comes out of nowhere.
Yep.
This shows they actually put effort in and they actually give a shit.
Hey, Scarecrow.
And now that I think about it, I think this is the first masterpiece we've covered on this channel.
Yeah. Well, you consider Godzilla King of Monsters to be a masterpiece?
Yeah, sure.
It's a work, all right. It's Oh, you have all the Batman
Fake
lookalikes,
imposters. Yeah.
Also kind of shows that Batman hasn't had like a purely positive impact on Gotham.
Yeah.
Some people have taken this message the wrong way. Is Scarecrow just like the Bruce Willis of the Nolan trilogy? He's like the cameo guy.
No, I mean, they even said at the end of the last movie they didn't pick up.
No, I know, I know that, but I'm just saying in general because he also has a little appearance in Dark Knight Rises too.
This one, on the other hand, they were still cleaning up from the last movie, whereas in Dark Knight Rises, it's just a cameo for the sake of the cameo. And already we can see the action is so much better than it was in Batman Begins already. And the shots are more wide and you can see what's happening.
Yeah, with the original movie, they did a lot more close-up shots and a lot of like faster editing to try and hide the problem.
Yeah, they were probably working on a smaller budget.
Mm-hmm.
But I think since he proved himself, they gave him a lot more. And then this movie went on to gross over $1 billion at the box office.
Yep. Which doesn't seem a whole lot nowadays, but back then, that used to be a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Up here's the line.
No, not yet.
Not yet. That's a cool shot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You bet your ass they use that in the promotional material. I'm not wearing hockey pads.
See, and this is good world building. It's showing the effect Batman has on Gotham before we get to the main plot. We had the opening, which set up the villain. Then we had some world building to see how Batman is affecting Gotham, and now we're getting into the meat of the plot. The structuring of this movie is really good. Yeah, it's just in...
Yeah, hey, I'm here.
And I like how they don't take the Joker seriously at first. They're saying this is just one random dude who's just causing trouble. Who cares? Ignore him. We need to focus on the entire mob here.
Yeah, focus on the big fish, not the little fish.
Yeah. And they really show that Joker is not a force to not take seriously.
Yeah, can I just say, the old Batsuit they use in the beginning of this film looks a little rough.
Yeah. And I like how they establish there are banks that are front for the mob.
Yeah, well, because, that's a real life thing. You know? Criminal enterprises describing themselves as legitimate businesses. I mean, that's basically the entirety of Breaking Bad. So,
Yeah.
It's a real life thing. But as I was saying earlier, the Batman Begins Batsuit they used for the first part of the movie here looks a little rough. Now, in the universe, you can justify that, he's been using it a lot. So it's going to get its wear and tear.
Well, it looks rough because it's the same suit he used in Batman Begins.
Yeah, well, what I'm getting at is, I can't prove this, but I can assume that maybe the original suit wasn't stored properly after filming, because that's just an unfortunate thing that happens with movies. Not every prop is like sealed in a vacuum glass case and like preserved for years. Sometimes they just stick it in a plastic crate in some kind of locker and just kind of sits there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
But, they upgraded and gave it a better suit. It was almost like a...
I do like the new suit in this movie a lot more than the previous one.
It's like what they did with Daredevil in the Netflix series. The red suit at the end of season 1 was kind of iffy, but then in season 2, they make the red suit a bit better. You know, that's kind of like what they do here.
Yeah, but I still like the black suit better.
Oh, I know.
Which is why they switched it back in season 3.
I like the black suit more too. I'm saying the red suit in season 2 looks better than the red suit in season 1.
Yeah, they make some adjustments to it.
Right. Yeah, of course I agree the black suit is the definitive version.
And plus, the bat suit from Batman Begins is still very reminiscent of the bat suit from Tim Burton's Batman. The cowl especially is very similar. So I do like the new look overall that they went with. And here's arguably this is my favorite character in the movie, Harvey Dent.
Yeah, people who say they didn't like the Harvey Dent stuff need to rewatch this movie. I think he's the best character.
It's the best part of the movie, man.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, they do a lot of good stuff.
I think he's the best character.
Yeah, and
he's the most interesting and the most tragic.
Yeah. And something you may have noticed from the last film, we got a new actress for playing Rachel.
An improvement, in my opinion.
Who's the current actress?
Maggie Gyllenhaal, who is Jake Gyllenhaal's sister, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah. Well, I think she does a fantastic job in this
Mysterio's sister is in the movie.
Small world. Who's that actor?
The one playing Falcone?
Yeah, in this film.
I'm actually unaware of the actor's name.
Okay, I know I've seen him from somewhere before.
Y'all dude, don't like him?
That guy.
That's Alex Gray, the best of the best of martial art movies.
Oh, right! Oh, dear God, that's quite a change in role.
And this is perfect setup for Harvey as a character. It shows he's, he plays by the law, but he's also susceptible for being dirty.
Yeah.
Because, he sucker punches the dude in the face.
Yeah.
Most DAs wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
He's a hero. He's like,
right.
He's literally the White Knight, like they call him in this movie.
In fact, actually, I want to bring that up. So remember how in the last Batman movie we talked about, which should go up before this one, how I mentioned that argument that like Bruce Wayne would be a better superhero than Batman?
Yeah.
I feel like this movie touches on that argument with Harvey, because as we see earlier, Harvey takes down all the criminals through the legal system, the one thing that Batman couldn't do. Like, Batman even admits that, Harvey did a better job to help Gotham than he could have.
Yeah, he put half the city's criminals behind bars, and he did it without putting on a mask.
So this movie does...
I like that.
Yeah, this movie does touch on that argument. Yeah. Now, I can't say what it is specifically. I think it has a lot to do with the change in set design, but in the previous movie, there was still like a little bit of Tim Burton in the the art style of the film. This movie is straight up Nolan.
Yeah.
This movie stands on its own in more ways than one.
Yeah.
It's the most standalone of the trilogy. You don't really need to see Batman Begins to get what's going on here. The art style is the most unique.
The shot composition and cinematography are distinct from any other Batman.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're very much not worried about trying to be like other Batman stuff. At this point, they've earned the trust of the audience to say, "Hey, it's still Batman, but we're going to do our own thing." And there's the new Wayne building, because the old one blew up in the first one.
And I like
that... Hey, Morgan Freeman.
I like that Harvey knows, too.
I forgot about that. He just passed out in the chair.
Yeah. Harvey knows, and that's a smart plan. Instead of trying to just go after the mob, just hit them where it hurts, and that's their money.
Yeah.
So go after their banks, and that's actually a really smart plan of theirs. I actually think that's really clever how they used. Batman gave them marked bills to place in banks in order to find which ones are real and which ones are mob banks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you want to kill a snake, you cut off its head, not its tail. Catching common crooks on the streets not going to change the bigger picture. You got to think bigger. Also, I just can't help but notice how more lightly lit the first part of this movie is, which is going to turn completely around by the end of this movie.
Yeah.
What I just noticed with the opening sequence at the bank, they did it in broad daylight.
Yeah.
Which is very strange. Most Batman movies, you expect all the criminals to be working at night. But they do that from a psychological perspective to show, hey, this is when everything's good, The city's cleaner, it's brighter than it's ever been, Batman's doing good work, Jim's doing good work, Harry's doing good work, they're making headway,
Mm-hmm.
And then halfway through the movie, Joker flips everything around.
Yeah, and this Joker guy, he's nothing to them. He's just a small-time guy. They're going after the big guys.
And boy, they're going to regret that in a minute.
Yeah. See, that's why I love Harvey.
Yeah, I mean, they did a lot more with this Harvey Dent in this movie than they did with Batman Forever?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah, it's Batman Forever.
Yeah, I only saw that movie once.
And, that line is iconic.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
long enough for you die hero, you live long enough to become a villain.
I mean, every comic book fan knows that Harvey Dent's Two-Face, but anyone who hasn't read the comics, that's a really subtle line that foreshadows his fate.
Yeah, I think they do more with Harvey in this movie than they ever did with this character. Maybe they did some things with him for the animated series, but I'm not too familiar with that series. So at least as far as I know, this is the most fleshed out Harvey Dent's ever been. Oh, I
and it
love
shows
this scene.
even though he's doing things technically by the law, he very much has a similar mindset to Batman. They're almost like the same hero, like the same person.
They believe in the same thing, but their methods are very different.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this scene. I'm going to say this a lot, but with every scene with the Joker, but I fucking love this scene.
Yeah. One more thing about Harvey really quick. I like how he's they're like, oh, this is a democracy. Who the hell appointed this guy to protect us? And it's like we did. We let these people take over our city. This wasn't him. This was us. We just sat by and let it happen. Mm-hmm. We need someone like him and me to clean it up. And yeah, this scene's great. And yeah, they tracked the marked bills, but Lau got them out in time. And
yep.
I love what Joker says, you think you're safe in Hong Kong because you're out of Dent's jurisdiction? Batman doesn't have that.
Batman's jurisdiction is everywhere.
And this is just one of the most outstanding performances ever.
Yeah. And that's the good thing about he does the great showing how Joker's crazy, but he's still funny, which is another important thing. Joker still has to be entertaining. Ta-da! I love that part. Now it's gone.
The guy's just like, yeah, you did it.
I've loved that scene ever since I saw it in theaters.
Your balls drop off?
Oh, man.
Even the mob doesn't like him.
Yeah, but he doesn't give a shit. He's only doing this because he thinks it's fun, but let's be honest here.
Yeah. I like how they even say it later. He even goes to Falcone and he's like, he has friends, and he's like, friends? Have you ever met this guy?
We killed the Batman.
The Batman. The television's so-called plan.
I'm really curious to see how many of Heath Ledger's lines were improvised.
I'd be curious. That'd be interesting.
Simple, we killed the Batman.
Very simple. If you're good at something, never do it for free. It's evil, but true.
Hey, even evil villains need to pay bills, you know. They have mouths to feed.
Joker doesn't have those.
Well, he has his own mouth to feed. Now, we know later that Joker is not really. He doesn't really give a shit about money. It's all about the message to him.
Yep. It's not about money. It's about sending a message.
Okay. So here's the thing I always found interesting about this scene ever since I first saw it. He threatens to blow them all up with the grenades, but I like to think that those grenades are fake.
Yeah. They totally are.
Yeah, I mean, they never say that. They could be real, and he is crazy enough to do that. But I just like to think, as a joke, because that's what he's about.
I think those are fake.
They're fake grenades.
Like they're duds. Like maybe they used to be real grenades.
Yeah, like that's a real thing. Like as props, you would see it like gun shops and stuff. They'll have like real grenades, but they have all the powder and stuff removed. So it's just the casing.
And I like how this sets up conflict with them because he's like, yeah.
I love
yes,
this.
Yes, he even says it. The only ones left were the marked ones, so they knew. Yeah. So, and he's like, he got him involved, and Dent knew about the marked bills, so someone in Dent's office is with the mob, and we see later that's true. Mm-hmm. See, this is what I mean. They don't have plot points just come out of nowhere. They actually set this shit up from the beginning.
Yeah. Whereas
in lazy movies that don't care, they just would have these things happen just randomly.
He does that.
Yeah. He does that. They actually... I love it when scripts do this. They actually care to actually set things up and then have a payoff.
Yeah, it's not a difficult thing to do. You just have to be paying attention to your plot.
Yeah.
I always got the impression a lot of it's just my own viewpoint, but I always like to think that the reason why Lucius likes working for Bruce is because Bruce provides him with a challenge, Like, Lucius is so good at his job that most times he doesn't have to, put a lot of effort in what he's doing, but because of the whole Batman thing he's involved in, it gives him a challenge, you know?
Yeah.
It's like Bruce Wayne asked him for a lot of crazy shit, and Lucius is like, finally, you know, something I have to put effort into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was just saying, given your usual request, this one's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. I just like how Lucius just likes working for Batman. He never questions
And they actually set up how he gets the plane, too.
Yeah.
See, they don't just have this shit come out of nowhere where it's just like, how did Batman get a plane? It's like, no, they actually put in that effort.
Lucius, yeah. Looks like we played from Indiana Jones.
It kind of does. Alfred's gonna enjoy some time with these girls, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. He's gotta spread the gene pool somehow.
Yeah, you're gonna hear me say this a lot in this video, but this is one
scene.
of my favorite scenes of all time.
Yeah. Most of these scenes are my favorite scenes. This is really well done.
How about alive?
Here's one of the Joker's favorite, I got these scars speeches.
Yeah, there are monologues in this movie that are insane. They're great. And a lot of people were like, well, why do we need to hear the backstory of the Joker? And initially, if I saw this when I was older, I would agree. I would be like, this is kind of unnecessary. He's always meant to be kind of mysterious. But then later on,
when he does this monologue again, you realize, he's just
it's like
bullshitting.
he changes the story every time. So it's like, it's all bullshit,
Yeah. Now, isn't there a theory out there
to me that's just so Joker. Sorry to interrupt.
No, but isn't there a theory out there of what Joker's past really is? Something about him being a former soldier or something like that?
There is that theory, yeah. And I think that he went crazy because of being a soldier.
Yeah. Now, the true answer is, what's his backstory? The answer is, it doesn't matter,
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
That's the point.
Tryouts.
Make it fast. I like how we cut away just for leave us to think what happened during the rest of that scene.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
They always cut away at the right moment because it's like they never spend too much time on a scene or too little time. Everything is developed perfectly.
Yeah. Obviously, this isn't a horror movie, but true horror movie buffs know that the greatest fear is the one your mind makes for itself.
Yeah.
Leave just enough for interpretation.
Yeah. Leave yourself to wonder what actually happened. Yeah, and that's been said before too. It's like the scariest things are what we don't see.
Yeah, it's what our minds make up.
Yeah.
George Freeman, when he's playing Lucius Fox in these movies, just filled with so much sass. I love it.
Yeah. Fox is the best. Mm-hmm. And that's how they got into their system and pulled off this heist, is because he left his phone there.
Right.
They never show shots like that by mistake. That's the beauty of movies like this. Nothing is done by coincidence. And since his phone is there, he gets that.
Also, this foreshadows the phone locator thing at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
The one time that Lucius thinks Bruce goes too far. And it's also cool just seeing Batman in Hong Kong.
Yeah. And it's also, this is just a perfect example of showcasing how you do a sequel right. It's like, you do something different, and this is the perfect example. You do things differently and something new and innovative, and but at the same time, build off of what was so great about the first one and do it better.
I mean, honestly, I would argue this movie just barely counts as a sequel. It does so much of it. It goes so much its own way.
Yeah, the best sequels are the ones that stand on their own.
Yeah. This movie, Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, even Empire stands on its own to an extent.
Like, you don't really need to see the first one to see.
Yeah, because the title prologue tells you everything you need to know that happened in the first one.
Yeah.
We'll get to that another day.
A long day away from that.
Yeah. Don't expect Star Wars anytime soon. And this movie has perfect pacing too. I love the Hong Kong stuff.
Yeah.
I've heard some people complain the only good parts are the Joker scenes, and I just completely disagree.
Saying that there's the only good parts of the movie is implying that there's bad parts of the movie, which is wrong. There is no bad part about this movie.
Yeah. And again, it's all necessary because it's to emphasize how much the Joker impacts them and their lives, as well as the fact that they don't take him very seriously at first,
Right, but that's part of his plan.
In fact, Batman Bruce doesn't even take him seriously until he goes on the TV and says, if Batman doesn't take off his mask, people will die.
Yeah. Joker planned for that, having your enemy underestimate you is a good thing because it's to your advantage.
Yeah, and just because the Joker's here, they can't pretend with this movie. They can't just open and just do Joker stuff for the whole movie. You can't just pretend like the thing that was set up in the last movie just doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
You have to make a transition, and that's what this is.
Right, because they straight up said that even after they stopped Ra's al Ghul, there were still a lot of criminals that needed to be captured.
Yeah, and the mob is still fully functioning. And they still have a lot of money. So yeah, you can't just pretend like that stuff's not important and just do Joker stuff. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong, I love the Joker stuff too, but this stuff is just as important.
Please,
plus it's not even that long either.
Mm-hmm. One thing that I like about what they did with Rachel in this movie as opposed to the last one is that they actually show her doing more police work. Because that's
Yeah.
her thing in the movie. She works for the police department, but you don't see a whole lot of that in the first movie.
Yeah.
Is he missing teeth?
Because no one knows where the money is except for him.
Yep.
Which is why he's so important. And that's how Joker gets the money by the end, is because he frees him.
Remind me, what's the name of the actor who plays Two-Face again?
Aaron Eckhart.
Aaron Eckhart.
He's really fucking good.
Yeah. He's just really good in movies involving a lot of like legal litigation. Like, have you ever seen the movie he was in called "Thank You for Smoking"? He was really good in that, and I thought that was a really interesting movie considering the subject matter. But he does good in a court scene, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love this scene.
That's set up for later.
Yeah. Look at all that. All the lawyers and shit.
All the lawyers and their whole family.
Yep. Yeah, I like how ominous that Joker card was, that it just happened to slip into the paper.
See, because Harvey's methods, they are a bit outside the law, in a way.
They're devious. He's not, he's
which
not...
is why Gordon was against it.
Yeah.
You know?
He's not pure-hearted, but he knows how to... I mean, he's a lawyer, right? He's a good lawyer. He knows, even though if they're not, like, perfect, he knows how to do it within the legal system. He knows what he's doing. I love this right here. Scared the shit out of me when I watched it years ago. Yeah.
When I was 8 years old, I was mortified. I was having nightmares for weeks.
Yeah, because at first I thought, oh my god, he killed Batman! I was like, oh bro, it's one of the... It's Mr. Hockey Pads.
Yeah. And the Joker cards they're hinting at where his next targets are.
Yeah.
So again, they don't just come out of nowhere. And again, they're showing that Harvey he's not 100% pure-hearted. Yes, he's a hero and he does great things.
He's
but
still
he
a
also
lawyer.
A lawyer and a district attorney who does some things that are a bit devious and sort of extra legal.
Yeah.
You know?
Sort of like Saul Goodman in that sense.
Yeah. So, no, the claim that him turning evil comes out of nowhere and makes no sense is not true at all.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is the only point where he starts taking Joker seriously.
Yeah. Joker makes a good terrorist, that's for sure.
Yeah, and that shows how perfectly well-paced and balanced this movie is.
And again, they don't show what he does to the guy, but it's implied to be awful.
And this is 45 minutes in.
Mm-hmm. Really? It's been like 5 minutes so far.
Yeah.
And the pacing in this movie is amazing.
It is.
Oh, that's sad.
That's sad foreshadowing.
You have no idea. Yeah, Alfred's a savage. You don't fuck with Alfred.
I love that. He's psychotic ex-boyfriends I should be aware of.
You have no idea.
Alfred is awesome.
Alfred's great. If there's one thing consistent...
See, this shows he has to present himself like an asshole.
Yeah. If there's one thing that's consistent throughout all of Batman media is that Alfred is a badass and you don't fuck with Alfred. You know, I know it's an act, but I also feel like Bruce still gets a kick out of doing this. You know,
I don't think so. I mean...
just a little bit.
Maybe a little bit, but not...
Not in the same way like Tony Stark would, but it's like, you know...
Yeah. No,
He's still having a little fun with it. Oh yeah, the face of Gotham's bright future. Certainly anything bad will happen to that face later in the film.
Yeah.
Okay, so that scene right there where he chucks the champagne down the edge, I always kind of wondered, like, did that splash on anyone's head or something? Just a super little thing I think about sometimes. It's like, hey, free champagne!
And this shows Rachel's moved past Bruce. She doesn't feel this way about him anymore in a romantic sense.
Yeah, you can just see in the acting, too. Just like, you know, she's just not romantically involved with Bruce.
And this brings up that whole dilemma, like, is Batman really doing the right thing here? Because Harvey's able to do what he does more effectively without the mask. Because, like I said, he does things that are really devious and are, like, extra legal.
But it's still cleaner than what he does.
Right. Well, effectively, honestly, it's almost the same thing. It's just in the eyes of the law and in the eyes of the people, it's more clean.
I mean, they're arguably, and forgive the pun, they're two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, now it's, yeah.
But
Because I was
that.
thinking, because arguably, it's effectively, both of them, what they're doing is effectively the same thing.
Yeah.
And hence why he sympathizes with Batman.
Yeah, and you know, like I said earlier, you know, Bruce always think Harvey's doing better than him, but like Harvey believes in what Batman's doing too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, first of all, he wanted to work with him. Second of all, you know, we get the line earlier where it's like, you know, well, holy shit, I just realized something.
What?
How halfway through the movie, Harvey takes the rap for Batman the same way Batman takes the rap for Harvey at the end of the movie.
Yep.
Shit, I just realized that. This movie's fucking genius!
Yeah, they are almost two sides of the same coin. He's the White Knight and he's the Dark Knight. I mean, I know how corny that sounds, but it's true. Yeah.
One's the yang to the other. One's a yin to the other's yang, you know? Okay. Why so serious? Whoops.
Uh-oh. This movie is... He does such a great job at building.
This is a little funny when he chokes him out.
I think he's such a master at building tension.
I love that movie. And then the explosion has a bunch of Joker cards.
Mm-hmm. The score is so epic.
Yeah.
And the structuring is just so perfect. I love how the tension at this point.
We are tonight's entertainment.
He's. All the chips are down right now. He's literally like in front of everyone. He could literally kill anyone at this point. So I love that the scene has reached maximum intensity.
Maximum
at this point,
intensity,
so
but Heath Ledger's performance is just so fun to watch.
Well, what I was going to say is the score was really doing a great job building tension, but as soon as he walked in, it cut. It stopped because it wasn't needed because the scene reached maximum intensity. So I love how it's appropriate. The music usage of where he places the score is really mature and appropriate. It really shows.
Yeah, even now, it's still cutting in between score and not score, whenever Joker's on the screen.
Yeah.
He fought. I hated my father! And then Rachel standing up to him is also a good moment for her.
Yeah. They drop the score later on as well during the truck chase.
Mm-hmm.
And it really shows a lot of maturity to show restraint and by not having music.
Yeah, no. Sometimes if you want your audience to be unsettled, you turn off the music. Because there's nothing that drives you more crazy than empty noise.
Yeah.
Just the weight of the moment. Not having a score to tell the audience how to feel.
Yep. That's why the most intense scene in the movie, the interrogation scene, doesn't have any music.
Oh, yeah.
And this one piece is like one of the most intense pieces of music ever.
Yeah, just the alien wail that goes on. It's
Yeah,
just so...
It's not even music, it's just a sound. It's just slowly creeping up on you, and it just goes on forever and gets louder every second.
I always wonder how they make that sound. They're gonna love me.
And now he's in his more improved suit.
Well, he was in that suit ever since he went to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
But now we can see it a little better.
Now, yeah, we can see it more now. In its full force.
Fuck, Joker's packing a fucking knife shoe. Shoe knife. Very poor choice of words.
See? He's doing terrible things, but he's still funny.
He's kind of like the Emperor. He takes so much joy out of being so evil, you just kind of have to respect it.
Yeah. Very poor choice of words.
Do it. I did it.
The taxi driver's like, what the fuck? I feel bad for him. He just destroyed his taxi. See, and now they're going after Joker specifically.
Right.
And no one's giving him up because no one knows his real name.
Yeah.
And no one in the mob actually likes him.
Yeah, and you never find out who he is. He almost comes off as a
But
human.
it does show that he has a lot of friends. He has a lot of people working for him. So when he... Later on, when he gets arrested, it was part of his plan. That one guy was probably one of the people who was there with him and was arrested. And he had the phone bomb implanted inside him from the beginning. Because that does happen a lot where criminals actually have some of their men arrested.
Yeah.
Intentionally. I love this story that Alfred is telling Bruce here. Shows part of how Batman changes by the end of this movie.
Watch the world burn. Yeah. That's why Joker is such an effective villain for Batman. It's just like for Batman, he believes there's that line, all criminals are a cowardly and superstitious
he's literally
lot.
a foil to Batman.
Yeah. No, what I mean is like Joker is the antithesis to everything Batman knows about criminal organization.
Yeah, he's not someone he understands.
Yeah, there's the famous line where he's like, all criminals are a cowardly and superstitious lot, but Joker is the exact opposite of that.
Yeah.
And I like how a lot of in Mystery, how like not even like fucking fake detection and shit can find out who he is. I like to think that Joker in life was such a nobody that he just doesn't have it. He's just not in the system at all. Because he was just no one. To borrow a line from the next movie, no one cared who he was until he put on the mask, or in this case, the smile.
Mm-hmm.
This is a cool scene here. I like how they show Batman doing a lot more detective stuff this time around. Instead of just him flying around beating up criminals. Which I also like, but Batman is still a detective. Or he's supposed to be. Oh god, it's this scene.
He literally almost figures out who Batman is.
Right, and Lucius is like, you think this guy is Batman, you're gonna blackmail him? Have fun with that. Now, some people are wondering what's the purpose of this scene because it doesn't really affect the plot. Well, for two things. One, it's comedic because the tension was really high a few minutes ago, and even dark movies need levity to give the audience a breather because this scene is pretty funny. But second, it also kind of explains how even when people do figure out Batman's identity, why they never say, the answer is, well, because he's fucking Batman, If you try to reveal Batman's identity to the world, he's probably going to beat the shit out of you, Just shows how far the fear factor goes. Good luck! He's like, I'll just put this back. He's like, man, I love my job.
Yeah, because they don't know who to trust right now.
Right. Because one thing they've made pretty clear throughout the first act of this movie is that the Joker has connections everywhere.
Well, no. Now Joker works with the mob, and so
Right.
the mob has people working inside the police.
Well, no,
and-
works for the mob. He's in control of the mob because all of the main leaders are either in jail or dealing with legal stuff in court.
Yeah.
So he basically has full control of the mob right now, and no one to stop him.
Yeah, because their mid-level leaders are behind bars. Their high-level leaders got bail, like they said earlier.
Yeah, but they're still
But
drowning
they're
in legal
still-
stuff.
Yeah, so they're not able to really do much of anything right now.
So for all intents and purposes, Joker has entire control of the mafia in Gotham.
So in a way, he used the fact that they were wanting to get rid of the mob to his advantage.
Yeah. He put himself in the right place at the right time. Another thing I like about this movie, how they do a lot more stuff with Bruce Wayne doing things, like having things going on during the day so he can't wear the cowl. Because, Batman's supposed to only show up at night.
Which is why, that's another problem I have with Dark Knight Rises, but we'll get to it.
Yeah. Because remember, why doesn't he just go Batman during the day? Well, it's part of the mythos, It's one of the reasons it's scared. Like, Batman it's like almost Dracula in the sense. He only comes out at night, from the shadows. He knows when you do something bad. The boogeyman of Gotham kind of thing. And it would ruin that if he just showed up during the day.
And I love how this movie doesn't try to hide when things are coming, because it's like any normal person can tell when something's about to happen. It just expertly builds up intensity so that you're literally shitting your pants just wondering how and when is something...
you know what's coming, but
how and when is the axe
gonna drop.
is gonna drop, yeah.
And the music does a good job of adding to that.
Yeah, and then you see...
The one time we see Joker without his makeup.
Yep. And that's the hint of the idea that, the theory holds that Joker might have used to be a part of the
military
army,
man.
because him and his people that were there were able to hide perfectly because they were doing that whole ritual correctly.
Yeah.
They knew exactly what to say and do.
The coat of arms and all that.
Yeah, coat of arms and...
Also, I like here the name tag that says Rachel, so they know who she is. I didn't notice that my first time around. That was only something I figured out recently.
Yeah, and that sends him into a much more vulnerable state of mind, because now he does fuck, they know her name.
So now Harvey's going to be even more desperate.
Yeah, and even more susceptible to the Joker's nefarious
Manipulations.
yeah.
Go find your sister so she can become Batgirl. Batman's sad. Batman is bat sad.
And I love how this movie shows how much each new thing just torments Bruce mentally.
Yeah.
So he just decides, fuck it, and goes after this guy. He doesn't give a shit anymore.
Like, screw subtlety.
Yeah.
I do like the choreography here with him fighting with the strobe lights. The effect of that is always really cool.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit anymore. A bottle isn't gonna help you. He has a
and also,
basically bulletproof helmet.
yeah,
So
it's like it's not Iron Man armor, but it's the next best thing. So.
yeah, pretty much.
And again, I have to say, like, it says something when the obviously we find out Jim was faking his death as part of the plan to get Joker, but you did something right when if the room was filled with Batman, you know you're doing something right.
Yeah.
But actually, now that I think about it,
Also,
was Batman in on Jim faking his death?
Yeah, so was Harvey.
Okay, I thought so. Okay, so this is just part of the act, really.
Yeah, so he's lying to Rachel right now. That's what Batman was talking about when he said we need to keep this one close to the chest.
Okay.
When he was talking to Lucius. Very few people can know. Because he knew that once the Joker attacked next, he could go in undercover as a cop and get him.
He just drops him. Ow! That fucking hurt. Have you met this
The fall
guy?
from this height, it wouldn't kill me.
I'm counting
on it.
That's also showing how Batman's upping his brutality from last time because the situation is that fucked.
Mm-hmm. Anyone who says Harvey not being shown to be susceptible to becoming a more morally gray character.
That's
after
the point of this scene.
Yeah, it's like, did you miss this scene?
I mean, we know later that Harvey was never actually going to
He's
shoot him because, well, the coin's double-headed, so... Now, we know Harvey isn't actually going to shoot him because it's only both heads on the coin. But even still, to go this far, he's risking a lot. But it's because Rachel's in danger, so he's extra pissed.
Mm-hmm. I think he might have done it.
No, but he would not yet.
Well,
not until he was Two-Face.
Yeah, not yet, but this shows he's willing to, though.
Yeah, the signs are there, but yeah, he hasn't fallen yet.
And plus, he says you're interrogating the wrong guy. This dude's just a paranoid schizophrenic.
Yeah. He's just a pawn in the game.
Oh wait, actually, no, never mind. I don't. He just said, he's the Joker killed Gordon. He's gonna kill Rachel.
Right.
And actually, if I remember correctly, he's actually surprised when Gordon opens the door. So I think Batman and Lucius might have been the only ones who knew.
Okay. I like this idea. It shows that Harvey believes in Batman too. Despite the fact that he's a vigilante, a criminal
Yeah.
by the legal
I
definition,
think, yeah,
he still believes in what Batman's doing.
The initial plan was to have Bruce reveal himself to be Batman, so that it would draw out the Joker, and then they would get
but Harvey
him there.
takes his place. And
But
this
yeah,
is
the fact that Harvey took his place just was like, oh, that works even better to their advantage. They didn't. That's why Bruce looked surprised when he did it.
Yeah. And, okay, so this is just fan speculation from my part, but I like to think that this is all just the case where Harvey wasn't in the first movie. The reason why Harvey decided to make this stand against the organized crime was because of Batman. I like to think that he was inspired by him to do this.
Yeah.
Which is why
it's
he's
possible.
doing it now. Yeah. Again, just fan wishing, I guess, but I like to think that.
Mm-hmm.
Also makes his fall hit a lot harder.
Yeah.
Because Batman does inspire good in people.
You saying something?
No. I was done. I like Harvey and Bruce's relationship in this movie. I like the new Batcave in this movie. I like how minimalistic it is, as opposed to the very, it's refreshing from the traditional Batcave, like literal cave.
See, even Alfred doesn't know of their plan.
Yeah. The Joker, the wild card. Ironically. I do like that. This movie has good comedy. It's small,
there's good
but it
levity.
works. Yeah, like Accomplice. I'm gonna tell him you thought of the whole thing. Let this scene be a lesson to you people. Do not live your life guided by fear, because it makes you do really stupid things. And that's why the Joker works so well, because he knows that.
See, he's shocked.
It's like, you motherfucker.
Well, no, this works to their advantage.
Right, it does, but like Bruce gave him that look like, you motherfucker. I do like, obviously, what I like about that scene is that obviously, yeah, he's taking the blame, but I also like to think he says the line because Harvey partially wishes he was Batman. In a sense.
No. I think after so I think there is a chance that after Harvey turned himself in, I think one of the cops in Gordon's unit might have told him about the plan.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because I look at the way he acts in this scene. There's a chance he might have been in on it after this point.
Harvey believes in Batman the same way Batman believes in Harvey. God, this scene is coming down. This is going to be fucking awesome.
Okay, so he probably told them that he's not actually Batman, and
He's part of the plan.
yeah, like he said, like you can use me to draw out Joker, and Batman can take him out.
Yeah.
So I think he knew. Yeah, he definitely knew that much. But I think he might not have.
He did not know about Jim faking his death.
Yeah, I don't think he knew about Gordon though, but he definitely knew that much that, all the cops knew he wasn't actually Batman.
Right.
Yeah. I'm interested though. I want to wait and see the part where Gordon opens the door again, because from what I remember, I think Harvey's shot.
Because
I'm
Gordon's
interested.
technically one of the guys in the SWAT gear, right?
He was, yeah. That's how he was hiding. He was in SWAT gear. So, yeah.
That's never a good sign when you see a fire engine on fire.
And for those who wonder how he faked his death, well, he deliberately ran out in the middle
He got shot.
and got shot. That was the plan from the beginning. Like, obviously he couldn't have known where the shooter would be, but he knew they were shooting for the mayor.
Right.
So he was definitely wearing Kevlar. And those guns, if you're wearing Kevlar, and with the guns they were using, that's not going to go through you.
Yeah.
The Kevlar is going to save
I mean, there's different Kevlar plating rated for different type of weaponry, but yeah, they make Kevlar for those kind of rifles.
Yeah.
Slaughter.
Yeah. So no matter where the shooter was shooting from, it would have hit him. And honestly, I think for them it was a win-win either way. Because Gordon was obviously willing to die for this, because obviously, he's a cop. So say if the shooter was going from the right or whatever and it shoots Gordon in the face or something.
No,
Even if he died, the plan still works regardless.
Right. And just in case some of you are wondering, well, how can Joker have all these connections, even if he have control of the mob? Well, remember,
No, he has control over
No,
the mob.
but I'm saying that how even then he still has all these connections. Remember, when people are in fear for their lives, they'll do anything.
Yeah.
Anything it takes. And that's the whole point
Yeah,
of Joker's plan.
it doesn't even have to necessarily be someone he had connections with. It could just be someone he threatened.
Yeah. That's why his terror tactics were
That's
so
why
well. Make him so afraid
there
that
are
it's just
two
the
cops
best thing is just to do what he wants.
Yeah, they thought they were in control, but it turns out Joker was planning to kidnap Harvey and Rachel next.
That's why he's such a good
That's why,
villain.
yeah. He's so good at attacking their weakness.
Mm-hmm.
And that works because, again, they set up the whole thing where the cop who picked up Rachel was the one who had a mother who was in the hospital with ridiculous bills, so the mob used that to their advantage to get to her.
Yep.
So that way the mob had cops on their payroll inside their precinct.
Mm-hmm. Alright, now I have to say, this is the one scene in the movie that feels like it's from the comic books. The one scene.
Yeah, this one scene is a bit comic booky, but
It's cool. Don't get me wrong, I like it. But it's the one scene that reminds me, all right, Batman's supposed to be a comic book hero.
Yeah.
The Batmobile turns into the Bat Bike with guns.
Goodbye.
And he uses it for the rest of the movie, you know?
Yeah.
It's another example of consequence. He doesn't just like buy another one. He sticks with the motorcycle because that's all he has for the time being.
Yeah. Also, fun fact, there's only one, as far as I know, there's only one usage of CGI, and it's when the helicopter goes down.
Right, because there's no way in hell they could have done that without endangering the life of the pilot
Right.
during filming.
Yeah.
The kids are like, holy shit. That's not good.
Yeah, as far as I know, the rest of it's all practical.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Could you imagine just walking through the mall and all of a sudden you see Batman on a motorcycle just driving through the hallway?
I would be like, oh shit, shit's going down.
It's like, oh hey, it's Batman. I mean, I'm sure if you live in Gotham, you get used to it after a while, but
Yeah.
for regular people who live in regular towns, it'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah, and this truck flip, this is real, guys.
Yeah.
Obviously, they cut away.
Yeah. Heath
'Cause
Ledger's not actually in the driver's seat when that happened.
Obviously, yeah, no one can actually be inside the truck.
Oh, you mentioned CG.
But-
that the thing with the bike flipped around, that was CG. But it was like
Are
2
you
seconds.
sure?
Yes,
I don't think so.
it was. You can tell, because Batman suddenly loses all his textures for 2 seconds. It's very brief, but that was CG. Come on, hit me.
This is so perfect. This scene alone. That shows Joker knows Batman's morals. He knows who he is. He knows how far he's willing to go, and what he's not willing to do.
Right. And at the same time, it's still a win-win because if he did hit him, he would have died, but he doesn't give a shit about his own life. And two, he got Batman to kill someone. So,
Yeah. Which was his
his
whole
mind,
goal
yeah.
to begin with.
Right.
That he's attacking their soul, not. Yeah. See.
Yeah.
So
he is a problem.
So he knew that the cops knew that they didn't know he was actually Batman, and he knew this was just going to be a plan. They were going to do a fake transport to try and draw out the Joker so Batman could catch him, but he did not know that Gordon was going to be the one to do it. Because they play it close to the chest.
Oh, that shot.
Oh, see in this shot, that shot on her face, that's foreshadowing. She's already picked up Rachel, and she's already tied her up in that warehouse.
And the jacket's just full of knives.
He couldn't even tell the mayor. Like, they had to play it that close to the chest. I literally think it was only Bruce and Lucius that knew.
Yeah.
Because they literally said it themselves. That, again, that's foreshadowing. We got to play this one close to the chest, and we don't know what they're talking about. And again, it's payoff. So things don't just come out of nowhere. This is the difference between a writer that gives a shit and is good at writing their plots and their scripts between a lazy writer.
Right.
Yeah. Because, not only is the story great, the characters are amazing.
Mm-hmm. And God, I would hate to be that guy right now.
See, this is his connection. He sent in the cell phone guy once he was brought in. Because Joker knew that Harvey wasn't actually Batman. And he could tell, oh, they're doing this to draw me out. So it's like, alright, we'll let them. We'll play their game and...
Oh God! Notice how earlier with the long guy, whatever his name was, Lau. Thank you. The room was fully lit, but now it's dark. I wonder why.
Yep. I'm gonna say it again. One of the best scenes in history.
Yeah, it's like what'd you do to Harvey? It's like I didn't touch him. It's like,
because he didn't.
Right. It was the police officer lady put him in the wrong car because.
Because, if they both died, that would work for him too. But the fact that Harvey survived, it's just like, oh, so now I can...
love this shot right here.
Yeah.
Batman! He's like,
since Harvey lives, he's just like, oh, okay, so now I can do this thing.
I can work with that.
I can work with the fact that he's still around. And he knew since they were questioning him here, bombs must not have gone off, because if they did, they wouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why he switches the addresses and lies. Because even though his plan doesn't require Harvey to still be alive, it still works better for him that she dies rather than him.
Because at the end of the day, all Joker needs is like a barrel of gasoline, a box of bullets, and to say he's going to kill one little mayor, and he can do whatever he wants.
And he knew he would go after Rachel, because like he said, because of the way you threw yourself after her.
Right.
It's criminal that they didn't nominate this movie for anything other than supporting actor.
Fucking shit.
Yeah, the Oscars, they completely ignored it except for Heath Ledger. Luckily,
Well, Black
he won.
Panther got a nomination. Because that movie's totally on par with something like The Dark Knight.
I've used this trick before. The door with the chair.
I have never attempted it.
It works.
Oh, I know. I just have never tried it.
He actually punched him there, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Heath Ledger said, beat the shit out of me.
Yeah.
He wanted it to seem realistic.
Yeah, talking about dedication to a role.
Yeah. Joker doesn't give a shit. He doesn't have anything to lose.
Yeah, that's why he does all
So,
that shit. It's all, everything is one big joke to him.
Yeah.
I'm just the Joker.
That's why he's such a great foil to all these guys. These guys have everything to lose. Joker's got nothing to lose.
Like, I don't care if I die or not. Do I look like the kind of person who gives a shit about my own well-being?
Yeah, all he cares about is bringing terror. As long as he doesn't care if he dies, as long as he brings terror into the hearts of these people, and as far as he cares. That's all he cares about. And you know what's funny? If she stayed at Wayne Manor and didn't leave, like Harvey asked her to, she might not have ever gotten captured.
Yeah.
I will say, this is like a nitpick, really. But this is one tiny issue that I have. Why is the guy standing inside the cell? They show that they have clear windows that they can watch him
Or they
through.
can just
So
walk
why
into-
is
Yeah.
So why is he standing in there? Although, to be fair, with the explosion, it would have knocked out everyone like he wanted, so he could have escaped. Still, it would be a lot harder because he'd have to get past a locked door.
Right. Or, just
So-
break one of the windows.
Right. But, that'd be much harder.
Right.
So, in a sense, it is kind of lucky the guy was staying there and he was dumb enough to get close to him when he didn't have any handcuffs on.
Oh, I like that
But-
shot.
Yeah.
You can see his
But,
reflection
I mean,
in the oil.
that's a nitpick.
Yeah, I get
It
you
doesn't
saying.
have...
For all the little emotions.
He's so good.
Yeah, like you say, like stupid enough, but that would have gone to anyone. After all of this,
Right.
some kind of a contusion. No fucking shit. And they cut away just at the right moment.
Yep.
Just shoot him!
Yeah, he doesn't. At this point, he doesn't care if he gets hurt or killed. He just wants Joker gone.
I just want my phone call. You can see his reflection in the oil.
Yep,
I love this shot.
it's a great shot.
This is a cool effect.
Obviously, that was a fake stomach and everything. That was probably a skinny guy in a fat suit.
Yeah.
Probably, is what
Something
I'm
like
guessing. But it's
That's-
very clever.
Yeah. I still think it looks realistic. And this is where we get the stunning plot twist.
Yep. And when it opens the door,
You're
the
just
music,
like, oh fuck.
the music cuts.
Yeah. It's like,
Because
oh fuck, he gave him the wrong address. He switched the addresses.
everyone's stomach just like dropped like to the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. And this was even more cruel with Nolan. That was really clever. It's like she doesn't even get to finish her last
Nope,
words
it's
there.
just boom.
Yeah. Oh, that's so tragic.
Is
And
he actually on
and-
fire?
And I don't know.
The flames look a little CG. I would forgive
It's-
them if they didn't actually
It's
want to light him on fire.
possible. Well, also Harvey's face was. I forgot. Harvey's face was CG.
Yeah, but it's so
But-
like you can tell it's CG,
but-
but it's so fucking creepy. You don't care.
Yeah. Because I mean, you can't really do that.
There he goes. That's a good shot.
I love it.
And half the coin is tarnished. Symbolism.
It's
I
no-
love it.
It's no longer a one-sided coin, you know.
Yeah, and Alfred's reading it, and he's just like heartbroken.
Yeah, he knows that it's best to just keep this to himself.
Yeah, I do like that he brings the note up again in the third movie.
That was like the one scene in Dark Knight Rises that I actually liked.
Right.
That's the one brilliant thing too. He let them think they were in control and that they were about to win here.
But nope, he planned this from the very beginning.
It's brilliant.
Well, maybe not very beginning, but he planned this for a while.
And that's the other thing. it's not a complicated plan. It's pretty much his whole plan and everything. It's basically an unlosable plan.
Yeah.
It's because either way, there could have been multiple different outcomes, and on all of them, Joker would have won.
Like, either they broke their moral code and proved him right by basically killing him, or, they don't go far enough and he gets away with it.
Yeah. Even if it wasn't Harvey, even if it was just Batman or a cop, it still proves his point.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's a moral victory or a physical one, the Joker get what he wants at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because Joker's whole thing is like, I'm willing to go...
Because even if he did go to jail, he would find a way to break out.
Yeah, because that's just how good he is.
Yeah.
It's like, Joker is willing to go as far as he needs to get what he wants, And if you want to beat me, you're going to have to do the same.
Yeah, the only way to beat him is to kill him.
I like how there's no audio during this scene.
Yeah, just
and he rips off the bandages.
Eerie,
moment as he rips off the bandage on half his face.
Yeah.
Now I knew beginning who Two-Face was, and I knew they were going to set him up, but I didn't know he was going to be in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But God, I'm glad he is.
Yeah. His story is the best part, in my opinion. I think his story is better than the scenes with Joker.
Yeah.
My favorite part is literally like the last 10 minutes. In that part where he almost kills Gordon's kid.
Sacked!
And
Yeah,
that's also set up from the beginning. Gordon said that the mob had people in his office. And
there's Falcone.
And the thing is, it's like, that might have been true. There might have been people. But we never get a true answer as to whether or not Gordon was right. Because Harvey said, like, no, it's the people in your precinct that are scum. And the people he says, which are Ramirez, and I can't remember the other guy's name, but the two people he says to him that were scum are the two who picked up him and Rachel. So he was right. He knew from the beginning that he had bad apples in his precinct, but Gordon didn't listen to him. So, hence his, distasteful for him.
And this is the scene where we truly learn what the Joker's all about.
Mm-hmm. All you care about is money.
I'm only burning my half. sending a message. The Lamborghini, then. Yeah, if see, this is why America has the line, "We don't negotiate with terrorists," because giving them what they want doesn't solve the problem.
Yep.
It just gives them permission to do it again and again. Because if you're just going to keep getting into their demands, well, he's going to keep doing whatever he wants.
And they sent him the watch out thing because, yeah, he had the guy with him. So in a minute, there's a citizen who tries to ram them and kill the guy who Joker said, if he's not dead in a... Berg and Ramirez.
Yep, that's Berg, and the woman's was Ramirez.
Yeah, he's not the one who picked up Rachel, though.
No. He's just saying, these are the people that are going to be most desperate in this situation.
Because he has relatives in a hospital.
Hey, can I just say, hey, the Joker in the nurse outfit is kind of funny. Which is...
Well, it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Hi. Dear God, that teeth.
Yeah. Well, that was real.
I know, they paint teeth, and there's fake teeth and stuff like that, too. No, okay, we know that's bullshit. He was behind all of it, but...
Huh?
And we know that's bullshit. He's behind all of it, but...
Yeah. No, he was... Yeah, it's he was behind all of this. He's just bullshitting and manipulating Harvey. That's his thing.
Yeah, no, he gave Batman... He switched the addresses on Batman on purpose. Because he knew that it would lead to something like this. No, I do believe he is honest in this case because, his whole thing is that at the end of the day...
Well, yeah, he wasn't lying in that part, but him saying and pretending he doesn't have a plan, he's just doing random shit, he doesn't care, that's not true.
Yeah. But no, he does believe that. Well, Joker's whole point is that people spout whatever they believe in, whatever they want to think they're good people. But at the end of the day, if their lives are threatened, they're going to devolve into animals and do what it takes to survive. You know,
Right.
they'll do,
Just
you know,
like him. Yeah.
right. They'll convert to their basis instinct.
Yeah.
You know,
If they have someone to lose, then they're gonna do that. And while yes, some people are like that, this movie shows at the end of the day, there will always be good people who will do the right thing.
right. As with the boat scene, we'll see soon.
Yeah. And even then, though, it doesn't really matter because that wasn't his
Right,
plan. Because at this point, his plan was Harvey, and that's all he cared about. If anything, the boat thing would have just been a cool bonus.
Yeah, if he could corrupt Harvey, he'd prove that anyone's corruptible.
Yeah.
And his whole plan of getting all the criminals arrested, would go to shit because its name would be tarnished forever.
Yeah.
Part of the plan.
Everyone loses their minds.
Chaos.
I'm an agent of chaos.
I mean, he's not wrong about that either. Mhm.
You die.
Now you're talking. And Harv's just like, God damn it.
Yeah. Because now he's at the point where he is willing to do shit like killing someone
Yeah.
from chance.
It's like, fuck it. My girlfriend's dead. My life is. I'm missing half my goddamn face.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah, exactly. He's just totally being
Yeah.
oblivious on purpose.
Yeah, he has to keep up the act. I do like how casually he just walks out as they love the building.
Yeah, he doesn't care. And I love when he turns around, I was like, well, that was disappointing.
Where's the rest of it?
Where's
Thought I hit the damn button.
Yeah. He's just kind of let down. He's like, what? That's it?
He's like, huh? Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Is this like...
Also, they actually blow up that building.
Yes.
That's real.
Mhm.
It's like, well, where's the rest?
I thought I hit the damn button. Where's the button?
Oh,
there it is!
Oh, there it goes.
Back on the bus.
Okay. Get in the bus.
But no, they do make like mock buildings for explosions and stuff.
Yeah.
Not so much anymore because CG does fucking everything now. But they
Yeah,
still
and
do
people
it.
are lazy. But yeah, this was real. he just loves doing.
And here we go. To me, this is the most messed up thing Batman's ever done on screen.
Yep.
Because you know all that stuff about people being pissed at the FBI spying on them through their phones and shit?
Yep.
That's exactly what Batman does here.
Yep.
And, you know, this is exactly where, like, Lucius, like, no one man should have this much power.
Yep.
And that's why he leads. Is Lucius in the third movie?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I like how you actually see some of it drip out of his face.
That is pretty cool.
I still think the CG on his face looks good. They put a lot of effort in trying to make it like anatomically accurate. That's why I gave it to you. Yeah, I feel like people should talk about this one scene more.
Yeah.
Because honestly, out of everything about this movie, this scene is still the most relevant today. Only more so because, you know.
Yeah, he says, consider this my resignation, and then he's like, as long as this machine is here at Wayne Enterprises, I don't want to be a part of it. And that's why he had it, because Batman knew that Lucius wouldn't like that, so that's why he had it programmed so that when he types in his name at the end, it's destroyed, so that way it can never be used again.
Right. Is this before the Edward Snowden scandal issue thing?
Did this come out before?
Yeah, before or after?
I think it was pretty much around the same time.
Well, talking about one hell of a coincidence.
I think so. I don't know. Because I know the Snowden thing happened after 9/11. So.
Right. He blew the whistle on the government spying to everyone through their phones and whatnot, and didn't tell them. Right. So, I don't know. That's just one of the reasons why that scene is so interesting to me.
Yeah.
Yep, Ramirez. He puts on the seatbelt. Oh, no, yet. The driver puts on the seatbelt, shoots the driver. was the last movie you think that was still faithful to practical effects before they went full CG?
I don't know.
I'm saying they.
I mean, I think that still happens today. I mean, The Lighthouse was almost entirely practical. I think the only usage of CG in that movie was the tentacles.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like that doesn't.
Yeah, right.
That doesn't not happen.
Right, it's just
anymore.
less common nowadays.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure, Parasite doesn't.
Parasite.
I mean it. It probably has CG somewhere that I haven't noticed, but if we know it's like extremely minimal, if any at all. I mean, I have no idea. Parasite might not have any CG at all.
I know Old Boy has one use of CG, and it's extremely minor, and I didn't catch it for the longest time. I had to be told. During the hallway fight scene, when he gets stabbed in the back,
is a CG knife.
The knife is CG.
Yeah.
But it's such a tiny example, and even now, I still can't truly tell. Like,
I figured that was CG when I saw it.
Okay, I figure it was some kind of prop, because I think it is possible to like rig that kind of effect with props.
It's hard. Well, it's definitely possible. It's just, but it's. I mean, there is a thing that's like a knife that just like is a fake one.
Right, and they just find a way.
Once you push down on it, it just like sticks to the suit. Yeah. So it's possible,
but no, that case it was CG. But I think that's it. I know we're getting really quiet at the end here, guys, but we're really getting into this movie.
Yeah,
it's hard not to get sucked in.
Yeah, it's so infectious. It's just like so engaging.
Like, after all these years, this movie still kicks ass.
Yeah, it's still a masterpiece in my mind. See, it makes sense that he would be like this because, you don't give in to terrorist demands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like how this scene, because this entire movie, Joker's thing about identity, everyone's just in it for themselves. The idea of order is just an illusion that we put on to hide us from the truth. But this boat scene is the counter argument to that. Because neither of them choose to pull the trigger. So, yes, there is good in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, see?
Yeah.
She was vulnerable because her own mother was in the hospital and her bills were crazy, and
they didn't want their mom to die. It's a pretty it's a believable circumstance that a lot of people have to deal with in real life.
Yeah, but at the same time, Harvey is just like, you didn't know what they were gonna do. What exactly did you think was gonna happen?
Yeah,
like it's like
presumably, I would think they were going to kill him. So
right. So it makes sense why he'd be angry. And how he even spares her, so. Shows, he's done terrible things, and he's becoming a really terrible person. But I mean, it shows
he's lawful evil now.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's still a bit of a morally gray character.
Yeah. Because it's true with, flip of a coin, 50-50, equal chance either way, You can't get much fairer than that. But as you show, it's a corruption of what you used to believe as, working in the law. And what does it say that the Joker landed on the clean side?
Yeah,
because that's presumably what happened.
The FBI team was the real people.
He wants
the ones in the Joker costumes are the actual hostages. Where my family died.
Yeah.
Damn.
I love the twist here in this scene where the Joker goons are actually hostages with
the SWAT team are his men.
No, the SWAT team aren't his men. The SWAT team are cops, but these guys are hostages, but they don't know that. They're just regular guys, but he made them look like they were part of his team. Yeah, those are the men.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, see, those ones behind there, some of them were SWAT team guys.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Okay, I will say, though, I am glad they did improve on the fight scenes. Some of the movies still look a little stiff.
Which ones?
Mostly Batman's. And I can just know that because I'm a Taekwondo guy and I know what real martial artists look like from guys who only had a couple months of training. Yeah, that's a part of it too. Suit hampering the movement. But this movie's great, but the fight scenes aren't John Wick, is all I'm saying. They're still good, but
I think we need to watch the John Wick sequels again because I don't think
purely in terms of fight choreography.
In terms of fight choreography, yes. In terms of logic, a lot of the John Wick fights in the sequels are pretty shit.
Yeah, I know. I still need to see John Wick 3, but just purely in terms of fight choreography from the earlier films, this movie. It's not a big deal because fight combat's not the point of this movie.
Yeah, because I was like, it's not trying to be John Wick, so
it's fine, and they are, and there's still a lot of creativity in it, so it's fine.
Right.
Yep. He daisy chained him. Yeah. And that's a really good payoff to the end of the fight scene. And God, the more I watch these movies, the more I see how much inspiration the Arkham games took from it. Arkham Knight especially.
And this is set up from the beginning because his suit
They
had trouble. They established his true. I mean, his suit
had
was,
trouble fighting dogs.
Yeah, that's why you got this new one.
Is
so
Joker holding
dogs can't bite through it.
Is Joker holding a crowbar? No, it's a pipe.
Yeah, or a pipe. Yeah, or a crowbar, whatever.
No, I need to know if it's a crowbar specifically.
It was a pipe.
Okay, never mind then. All you Red Hood fans know what I was getting at. It's fine. It's just like
I love this.
I always thought this dude looked like Mike Tyson.
But you realize if you do this,
You're gonna be a murderer too.
Yeah, it's like you're just like them. You're no better than them, and in some cases you might be worse, because if you blow up that boat, you might have killed more people than those guys did.
Yeah.
Hell, some of the prisoners on there might not even be murderers.
Yeah. And he chucks it out the window.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what part of life you come from, everyone can. Whether you're good or bad is always a choice. It's always a choice. And he puts it down.
Yeah.
Now, they don't outright say this, but I think it's at least partially implied that the detonator would have blown up both boats.
Yeah.
Because as we see in a minute, Joker has his own detonator and it looks identical to the ones he gave the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. One time he failed. The Joker failed.
Well, he didn't.
I mean, in the long term, no, he got what he wanted. But in this instance, you know,
Well, yeah, sure, but this was his real plan was Harvey. And
right?
his,
We talked about it earlier.
Yeah. Was just like would have been a cool like little side thing. You know?
But,
Because
yeah.
all he really cares about is Harvey.
Right, that was his end goal.
Yeah.
But even still, he did get this one wrong.
Yeah. This dialogue is great.
Oh yeah. Oh, I like how he's hanging upside down, but the shot reverses.
Because you think he's defeated, but he's not. He's still on top.
Yep, he's turned everything upside down, so he's the winner. And it looks like he was like flying in the air instead of falling. Now that line hurts, given what happened to Heath Ledger in real life. Batman's like, oh shit.
Probably the perfect dialogue.
I know, right?
So fucking perfect.
Perfect way to end his part in the movie.
That took some time to write.
Yep, that's true.
Definitely.
I would be surprised at one line of the month when they get perfect.
Yeah, definitely took their time writing this.
And that's not the only good usage of it. This whole movie has amazing dialogue.
As we've talked about at length during this much long.
Yeah, see, everything from this point on in the movie is my favorite part, personally.
It's the climax, the true climax.
Yeah. True climax is just a really deep personal conflict between three characters.
Yeah. Parallels the scene at the beginning with them on the rooftop, and now they're, well, crumbled down. You know, everything's dark and fucked up.
Joker's divided them.
Yeah. In Harvey's case, literally. I do like a shot where half his face is covered in shadow, as if, the darkness is consuming him.
This is the best thing Aaron Eckhart's ever gonna do.
Aaron Eckhart?
Yeah.
Who is...
Harvey.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good actor.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, in terms of what my favorite thing is, and it's obviously this.
This is his best work.
Yeah, everyone truly knew. I have a feeling that everyone who worked in this movie knew this was something special.
He is talking a little bit too perfectly for someone who's missing half of a job.
Yeah, but it would ruin the moment if it would spoil the moment if he had like a weird way of talking because of his face.
Yeah, that's a nitpick, really.
Yeah, this right here, what they're talking about, free will versus destiny, is what Batman is arguing.
Yeah. And the reason why he's talking perfectly is because the other half of his face is CGI. And I think every fan knew that he wasn't actually dead, too, because it's like Batman's suit, as shown in the first movie, was made to be even more than bulletproof.
Right.
So, and he shot him right on the part where it's like his armor was heavy. So,
right. But even if we know that, it also illustrates that the flaw in Two-Face's philosophy. Just because the coin says he's supposed to die, well, just because it's shoot the bullet out, it doesn't mean they always die.
It's like his deity almost.
Yeah, but yeah, basically, the coin has become his god.
Basically, yeah. Because what the coin says is as life does, or whatever, And that's interesting. It shows the clean side, meaning that the boy would have lived.
Well, okay, here's the thing about that, because I thought about this too, and you can see it that way. That's a valid way of seeing it, but I choose to see it is that the reason why it landed on the clean side was because Batman interfered. It was Batman's action that saved Gordon's son's life, and vice versa made the coin land on clean. So you can look at it either way.
Yeah.
It's like, was it destiny or was it Batman's choice to act that spared his life?
Yep. That's what's so great about it.
Interpretation! Never have to.
Yep.
But he's going to anyways.
That's a nice little payoff in the first one.
Yeah. It's like
I know I don't, but yeah.
It's like, I really need to do it this situation.
I really feel like I have to, yes. Nope, because I'm going to take the fall for it.
Batman always has a plan.
He cares more about Gotham and the people than he does about his own image.
Yeah, the image exists, to protect Gotham's people. That's why it's there.
Yeah. Yeah. This last monologue is so motivational.
Mm-hmm.
Half his face is dark, half of it's light.
Mm-hmm.
He's letting that dark side that Harvey had, now he's letting it put on himself.
Yeah.
Yep. He's taking the fall for it.
Yeah, the fall for the people he killed.
Yeah. I know you guys are probably going to think we're looking too far into it. Trust me. Masters of filmmaking, they don't have... Which is what Christopher Nolan is.
Yeah, no argument.
People who are directors like Nolan, no shot is meant to be an accident or just a coincidence.
Yeah.
That's not how it works with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people need to realize that movies aren't just supposed to be stupid, campy fun. They can be, and there's nothing wrong with that, but movies can be artful too. They can induce philosophical and moral discussions too.
Yeah. And this is like the superhero movie that proved that.
Yeah. And what better movie to do with that than a Batman film?
It's seriously like a drama to me.
Yeah.
It literally transcends the comic book name. And the themes here at the end are perfect.
Right.
And the dialogue, too, it perfectly sums up the themes of what Batman is supposed to be.
Right. Whatever he needs to be to protect Gotham. That's...
Yeah. Whether that means a hero or someone who murdered a great man.
Right. And that's the end!
They should have just ended it there. That should have been the end of the story.
What are you talking about? This is the only movie. After this has Ben Affleck's Batman, right?
Yeah, I wish.
No, we got one more.
We got one more.
That's one that'll take a little longer, but that's the next one.
It'll be a while before the next one, but.
So, what are your thoughts, Grant?
It's
not that
still,
we didn't get that throughout.
Yeah, it's still a masterpiece in my
Yep.
mind. Even though it has those couple minor nitpicks,
like microscopic.
Yeah,
because
no
movie's perfect.
Yeah, even movies that I give 10 out of 10s to have problems. No movie is perfect. Even masterpieces are gonna have one little thing about them that's like iffy.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, to me, it just depends on the severity and I think there were maybe only 2 issues we found in it.
2 very small issues.
And yeah, they really mean nothing. This movie is so perfect. It's my favorite superhero movie by far. And I assume it's not yours, but like one of them.
Yeah, but I have bad taste, so don't listen to me. But no, I like this movie. I love this movie a lot.
Yeah. What would you say it is out of 5?
I'm not giving a rating. You're not getting that from me.
Alright.
You just have to trust the fact that I love this movie that everyone else loves. So,
right.
Yeah.
Zach doesn't do ratings.
No.
But I do. It's a 5 out of 5.
Yeah. No. When people say
better than the last one.
Yeah. But I will say what I said earlier, that out of every superhero movie made, this is top 5 and the greatest.
Yeah.
Probably should be at least top 3. Because, goddamn, this is just a really good movie.
Yeah.
Like, even when I was like, when did this movie come out?
2008.
9, 10 years old, something like that. Even back then, when I saw this movie and didn't quite understand everything this movie was trying to come across, I love this movie. I thought it was great back then. It's still great now, and it'll still be great long after I'm gone.
Yeah. It transcends its own genre, and it'll be great forever. In my mind.
Yeah.
It's just one of those movies that to me is just never going to date itself.
You know what's really bizarre?
What?
The fact that the dude from Twilight is now the next Batman.
I know, and the dude from Twilight gave 2 exceptional performances in the last 2 years. Seriously, The Lighthouse, we're doing that at some point.
Yes, we are doing Lighthouse at some point.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson is insane. I can't wait to see him.
And I don't know. I mean, I've never watched Twilight for obvious reasons, but I don't know.
Right.
Maybe he was good in that.
I don't think so.
I mean,
I haven't seen Twilight, but still.
I mean, you can put in a good performance when you're in a bad movie.
Well, sure, but I don't.
I'll give him the benefit of
He was
doubt
young
just
back
for
then.
Lighthouse alone.
All right.
But yeah.
I don't think Twilight has anything good about it.
Okay, here's another thing. You know how a lot of Spider-Man fans nowadays want Tobey Maguire back in the Spider-Man role at some point?
Yeah.
Would you like to see this cast return at all?
Eh,
Not for a Dark Knight movie specifically, but just like
for a Batman movie.
Some kind of cameo, maybe.
I think they've done enough. I think they've done their job. I think.
Yeah.
We should just let things be, But yeah, it's still amazing.
Yep.
So yeah, thanks for watching Heretic Theater, and we'll see you next time. Do you have anything else?
So next one will be Dark Knight Rises, to finish off the trilogy. Because of behind the scenes stuff, that one's going to take a little longer to come out. So be patient with us, and hopefully you guys look forward to that.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Yep. Have a good night.